Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Forex with a free US dollar index Elliott Wave analysis for you on the New York trading session dated Monday the 11th of October. And I'm recording now from Austin, Texas. Here's a quick look at an historical chart just to give you an idea of the bigger picture for my wave count. We had a cycle degree B wave ending early 2009, so we're in a cycle degree C wave. This is going to subdivide at primary degree to a 5-wave structure, and it's going to subdivide to a simple impulse because this first wave at primary degree is most likely a simple impulse. If the only other option for the C wave is an ending diagonal, which requires every subwave to subdivide into a zigzag, and that's not the case here. This primary wave 1 is an impulse, and primary wave 2 is an expanded flat correction, a textbook perfect one. And therefore we're now in primary wave 3 to the upside, which is going to be a 5-wave impulse at intermediate degree. Of that we've had intermediate 1, and we're working on the very end now of intermediate wave 2. This chart here is just a few days old. I'll be moving to a daily chart that's updated in a moment. Within this second wave at intermediate degree, we've had a very long A, B, and we're working on C to the downside now. A long-term target for the end to primary wave 3 may be about 120.59, where it reaches 2.618, the length of primary wave 1. So from this point down here, primary wave 3, with its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves at intermediate degree, may reach about 120.59. So that's a long-term target for you. Taking you now to a daily chart just for the last 1 year, where this black 2 and this maroon 2, there's this black 2 up here and this maroon 2 down here, and here's our intermediate first wave to start primary 3 with an ABC zigzag to the downside, nearly over for intermediate wave 2. It could have been over here on the 7th of October, where the C wave at blue or minor degree would have been 33 days in duration, which is 1 day short of a Fibonacci 34. Or it could take just a few more days to reach down into our little target zone, which isn't that far away now. We'll have some confirmation that this downwards trend is over and we're in an upwards trend that's going to take price above this point here and significantly higher, and will remain an upwards trend for several weeks, if not 2 or 3 months or so. We'll have that first indication, or some confirmation, when we see a full daily bar opening and closing above this little pink parallel trend channel. This is drawn using Elliott's technique around C blue, a trend line from 1 to 3, first drawn, and a parallel copy placed on this high here, labelled 2 pink. Sees it wave 4 pink coming pretty close to touch it, and overshoot here, that's fine, and an overshoot towards the end, which is really common. So when we have a full daily bar opening and closing on this side of it, because we will then have a complete 5-wave structure, that will indicate a big trend change. We'll have our final confirmation of that very big trend change when we see a full daily bar opening and closing above this blue line. This wider blue parallel trend channel is containing wave 2 black in its entirety. And this again is Elliott's technique, this time for a correction. First, a trend line drawn from the start of A to the end of B, and then a parallel copy placed in the low of A blue here. So when price moves above this, then we know that the downwards trend is over and we're in an upwards trend, and because this is going to be a 3rd wave, it's going to have to move significantly beyond the end of wave 1. Taking you now to the hourly chart, where we're going to look at this 5th wave at pink degree. Before we go there, this target zone at 76.93, within wave 5 pink, wave 5 green will reach equality with wave 3 green. That's the first part of the target zone. At 76.48, within wave C blue, wave 5 pink will reach equality with wave 3 pink. So that's how I've worked out that little target zone. And price should not move below 74.18. That's our invalidation point. So price could technically come right down to touch this point, but it can't move even a fraction below it. Wave 2 in its entirety can correct up to 100% of wave 1, but not beyond the start of wave 1. So taking you now to the hourly chart, where this pink 3 and pink 4 up here is now this pink 3 and pink 4. And within pink 5 here, we've got a green 1, 2, 3, 4, and still probably working on the end of wave 5 to the downside, although it technically could have been over here. So it is possible that it may have been over here, or we could have a little bit further downwards movement into that little target zone on the daily chart. This downwards movement is pretty nicely contained in this parallel trend channel drawn here, again using Elliott's technique. A trend line from 2 to 4 is first drawn and a parallel copy placed on 1. We've got a little overshoot for the end of the third wave, really common there, and if it was over here, we've got a nice overshoot for the end of the fifth wave as well. This parallel channel on the hourly chart will provide our first indication of that big trend change coming up. When we see price move comfortably above this small green parallel channel, we'll have our first indication of that major trend change. Within wave green 5, orange wave 3 here is just 0.13 short of 1.618, the length of orange wave 1. So when wave 3 is longer than 1 and we see that Fibonacci ratio between them, then we could reasonably expect wave 5 to reach equality with 1, which will be achieved when price gets down to 76.94, which really isn't that far away. Last time it came down here, it bounced off this trend line, so we may see another couple, 1 or 2 movements down, and we may find that this lower green trend line provides quite a lot of support for downwards movement. So the dollar's getting really, really close to a really big trend change. Now's the time to exercise patience and caution and use channeling techniques to confirm an end to the downwards trend and that big trend change. Rather than trying to pick tops and bottoms and killing your account, it's best to just wait that extra couple of days or so until we have that confirmation before entering any positions to the upside for the dollar. That's all for me with your US dollar index analysis, and I hope everyone's having a fabulous day.